Hey, this is Sean for tightpoker.com, and this video we're going to go and do a series of videos real quick here this week and talk about ways to satellite into the World Series of Poker main event. This is the time of year that everybody's trying to do it. It's a great time. There's still quite a few ways to get in, especially on all the major sites. We'll start with PokerStars first and just basically go through all the sites in terms of traffic from the top site on down and just talk about all the different ways you can qualify in. In many cases, you can do it for free, which is just crazy. As low as $4 up to just a one table sit and go for $1,000 a person. So there's just a lot of ways. We're going to talk about some of the better ways, and hopefully one of you will win your way for a $12,000 vacation to Vegas and enter into the main event and win millions and millions. So let's get down to it. Okay, so first thing you want to do is on the main tab here, you want to click on Events and then WSOP. A lot of people will look in the Tourney tab and they just can't find anything. This is just a real quick, direct way. And if you want to play in the Latin American Poker Tour or whatever it might be, this is where you would want to go. And if you just wanted to do freebie FPP stuff, then you can click here. Otherwise, I just hit all. And the first things you're going to see here are sit and goes from here on down. And there's a variety of tournaments here. And we're not going to go too much into these, but the problem with a lot of these things is that you have to have like 100 people sign up, and during the typical day, that's just not going to happen. On the weekdays, like maybe Thursday nights, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and during the day on Sunday, these things will fill up, especially things like this one, the 8-player $60 heads-up satellite to the $370 qualifier. So for example, let's pick one of the small ones. Here's a 2,300 FPP, those are frequent player points, satellite to the $370 qualifier. So that's cool. You get to qualify in, it doesn't cost you any money, and then you look, and here's the tourney tab. And so we see the winner advances to the $370 qualifier, and we see that this is just a one-person sit and go. So this actually isn't too bad. PokerStars has it down to a science in terms of what their FPPs are worth. So don't think they're ever going to give you a deal. A lot of people think, oh, they're going to be able to really. No, just they know what it's worth, and they have it down to like a hundredth of a cent. And so this gives you an approximate value on your FPP in terms to cash. And so this is a winner takes all. And you also want to make sure that you're not entering a tournament where there's really little value or good poker to be played. This one, the levels increase every 10 minutes and a 10-player table. So make sure you pay attention to all this stuff. And then you can even click on the tourney tab, and then this even tells you what satellite. And if you click on this, here's that $350 main event package, and so it tells you one main event package for each $12,000 in the prize pool. And you can see in this one, it's going to be next week on June 14th. 200 packages are guaranteed, which is just crazy. PokerStars will probably be sending at least 2,000 people to the main event, so I mean you'll know it's already going to be pretty big. And one thing they've adopted that Full Tilt does really well is that you can see all the satellites to this tournament, and this won't be here the day of the event obviously, but leading up to the event you can see this is one of the two major qualifying tournaments. I think the other one's a 650, which we'll get into before, but so let's keep this. But again, these sit and goes here, very rarely do they really fill up. You just kind of have to watch the ones that do, or when they're ready. Otherwise, what you want to be doing is looking at these tournaments. Okay, one of the real popular ways of getting in is through these super small buy-in, like super satellites to win. Basically, you win a qualifier of a qualifier to get into the World Series of Poker main event. This one starts in 7 minutes, and it's only 40 FPPs, which anyone even playing at low stakes can take and bring in 15 minutes. I mean, that's super quick. But what happens is that for every 100 people, they're going to give a ticket to the qualifier. So again, you want to look at the tournament info. You don't see any of that here, and I see a lot of players kind of, I don't want to say get tricked, but they get a little presumptuous to go, oh, okay, sure, 40 FPPs, but then maybe it's for 400 or 4,000, and they don't realize, like, oh my God, I'm in a tournament with 500 starting chips and 5-minute blinds, which is an absolute crapshoot. You're better off playing roulette or something. So always hit this tournament button. You see this is actually a really great structure. 15-minute blinds, starting chip stack 1,500. You're playing it like any other tournament, and it basically satellites you into this, which is the 4,000 FPP, which this is actually a really good tournament. Having looked at a lot of the structures and a lot of the other ones, this is the one actually that you might want to look into if you don't want to actually spend money. If you can satellite into this one for only 40 and just maybe try it 10 times, and you qualify once, well, then you're way ahead. But it's going to be pretty difficult. I think you're probably better off playing these one table or multi-table 400s, and then you got a 1 in 10 chance, which if you're a good player is all you need. And then once you come into here, certainly you'll be able to, maybe fight your way up and get into the World Series of Poker main event. So this one, this is a satellite. So, this is direct. So if you qualify into this 4,000 one, you are in, and you get that $12,000 prize package. So we'll take a look at this one as well. But good structure to this one. And so these are the kind of things you want to look for. It's like, okay, low cost, good structure. Yeah, it's a crapshoot in terms of me versus I basically have to win against 300 people or 400 people. But, it's like, hey, for it's like super low risk, super high reward. And then here's that 400 one. And, it's just 1 for every 10, right? Yep. So not as popular, but usually they guarantee at least one person in these events, so maybe you can find a decent overlay. Let's try to find something else kind of cool that's not like super small, like $8, but like $20 or here's one that's $33 with a $3 requirement. Now this tournament, it's immediate qualifier. You don't have to qualify. There isn't a way to qualify into this unless you kind of figure it out yourself and play like a $10 sit and go or something. But $33 plus the $3 to the site for the fees, and maximum 100 entrants. This is a DS direct satellite turbo event. Again, make sure you know what that means, because that means 5-minute blinds. But this goes into that big tournament that we saw earlier where the 200 packages are guaranteed. So this is another really, really great way of getting in. Again, you're going to have to beat out, I think it works out to 12 or 13 people. But if you can do that, be in the top 12, you're going to get a ticket to a big event. And again, to show that to you, here's the structure. Starting chips, 1,500. But again, you got to be really comfortable playing turbo events. It's a different beast than playing those 15-minute blind games. So that's that, and basically I'm just going to try to give you ideas of what to look for. There's some VIP tournaments. Let's take a look at that. So if you're a Silver Star Plus on the site, you can get into this for 500 FPPs, and there's actually some cash on the line. So there's free rolls all the time going on that you can do in order to get into the June 21st final for all the VIPs. For some of the higher bankroll players, there's some $215 tournaments. And for these, basically, there's obviously no deals or anything, but it's a turbo, 5-minute blinds, and you can actually use your step tickets if you're familiar with what that is. If you're not, I guess that'll be another video. We don't have time, but you can use your step 4 entry tickets, as well as there are 2 satellites that are $8 for this tournament, and this directly gets you right into the main event. So, for example, this tournament will be on June 8th, so there'll probably be 1 or 2 people out of this event, that'll go to the World Series of Poker main event. And so if you can get in for $8, that's a hell of a deal. And taking a look at this tournament, we see it starts in the mornings, but it's a great opportunity. It's 5-minute blinds, and this is a rebuy event, so you can add on after 30 minutes. It's just an add-on. It's not. Yeah, I guess it's a rebuy. Excuse me. So I guess I should just click that button, and you can see unlimited rebuys. There you go. So rebuy event, again, fast and furious action. You basically want to chip up as quickly as possible and rebuy right away. You should be prepared to spend at least 3 buy-ins for a rebuy event. So definitely look up on tightpoker.com some strategies for rebuys, but there is an opportunity here for $8 to get into the qualifier here and get directly into the World Series of Poker main event. Again, brush up on that turbo strategy as well as rebuy strategy, but you can see there's just some really interesting ways to get in. So what you want to do, again, events, World Series of Poker, go to all, because you'll find some events have satellites. Anyways, good luck. This has been the PokerStars World Series of Poker tutorial. This is Sean Gibson for tightpoker.com.